The front HD bumper kit is required. In order to install the 6000 Pro HD winch kit, the top plate of the HD front bumper must be removed. To install the 6000 Pro HD winch kit on your Polaris XPEDITION, follow these steps. Start by parking the vehicle on a flat level surface. Ensure it is in park and remove the key. Next, disconnect the battery by removing and keeping the 2 screws from the front of the driver's seat base. Then, slide the front seat and lift up to remove the seat. Now turn the screw to open the cover and lift the cover and slide forward to remove. Next, disconnect the negative cable from the battery to prevent arcing. Then, if equipped, remove the accessory hood rack and set aside. Now, remove the grille by turning each stud 1/4 of a turn to release the grille. Then, unhook the rubber straps for the hood and lift up the hood to remove. If the vehicle is equipped with a front camera, disconnect the camera harness. Next, remove the 2 push-pin rivets from the front of the underhood liner. Then lift the front panel of the underhood liner to access the area beneath. Now, open the left front door and open the tip-out windshield, if equipped. Next, disconnect the bottom of the gas springs. Use care when releasing the clip. This clip may spring away from the fitting and may strike objects or become lost. And remove the 2 screws and ball stud from the lower A-pillar trim panel. Next, remove the push-pin rivet from the outer sail panel and remove the sail panel by turning and pulling outward. Then, to remove the front left fender, start by removing and retaining the 2 push-pin rivets from the rear edge of the front fender. Next, remove and retain the 2 push-pin rivets from the top of the front fender. Then remove 2 screws from the front fender. If equipped, disconnect the front wiper fluid line. Now pull the fender outward to disengage the upper tabs. Then turn the fender and lift to disengage the lower tab, and now remove the fender. Now remove the 2 4500 Pro HD winch connectors from the winch harness. Next, remove the 4500 Pro HD winch negative cable from the chassis. Then, remove the 4500 Pro HD winch positive cable from the chassis. Now, remove all the factory fur connectors from the frame leading to the winch. Then, remove the push-pin harness clip from the inside upper left mounting bracket. If your vehicle has accessories added, be sure to disconnect all connectors at this time. Next, remove and retain the 2 screws from the lower mounting holes. Then, remove and retain the screw and nut from each upper mount. Next, remove and retain the 2 screws and 2 nuts from each middle mounting post. Now, remove the hood rack lower bolts. Next, remove the HD front bumper by pulling away from the vehicle and carefully set it aside. Now, remove the 4 screws from the 4500 Pro HD winch. Then disconnect all harness connections and remove the 4500 Pro HD winch by lifting upward and pulling outward. Next, install the grate to the HD front bumper using 9 screws. Now, remove the top plate of the HD front bumper by removing 4 screws and lifting up and pulling outward. Next, install the HD front bumper onto the vehicle. The middle and upper mounting points should line up with the frame. Then, the middle mounting point slides into the bracket in the vehicle frame. Next, the upper mounting point will wrap around the left and right side of the bracket on the vehicle frame. Now, loosely install 4 screws and 4 nuts to secure the middle mounting points. Then, loosely install 2 screws and 2 nuts to secure the upper mounting points. Next, loosely install 2 screws in the lower mounting holes. Next, reinstall the accessory hood rack if equipped. Now torque all screws to specification. Then set the winch assembly on top of the HD front bumper and route the harness through the HD bumper above the frame. Next, loosely install the winch assembly to the accessory bumper using the 4 retained screws. Do not torque at this time. Now, make sure the harness is not pinched anywhere between the winch and the frame and torque to specification. Next, install the push-pin harness clip into the upper left mounting bracket. Then route the winch harness up the frame tube and install cable tie clips onto the frame. Next, route the harness across the top of the core support and install cable clip ties into the core support. After this, continue to route the harness along the top of the core support and install cable clip ties into the core support. Then, locate the outer grommet in the upper tray and insert the end of the harness with the power cable and multiple connectors through the grommet. Next, remove the boot from the positive connector. Now, install the terminal ring end of the positive cable to the pulse bar stud and attach with the retained nut and torque to specification. Next, reinstall the rubber boot onto the positive terminal post and install the negative end so the center hole lines up and it is 90 degrees off from the already present terminal. Attach it with the retained screw and torque to specification. Next, disconnect the 4500 winch harness connectors and remove. Then remove the 4500 winch auto stop box. Next, install the 6000 Pro HD winch auto stop box to the mounting holes and attach with 4 screws. Tighten screws until fully seated. Then, install the 6000 Pro HD winch harness. Then, plug the harness connectors into their corresponding connections. Next, reconnect any existing accessory wires that were unplugged. To reinstall the front left fender, turn and lower the fender to engage the lower tab. Then, push the fender inward to engage the upper tabs. Next, install 2 screws in the front of the fender and torque to specification. Then, install 2 push-pin rivets in the top of the front fender. Now, install 2 push-pin rivets in the rear edge of the front fender. To reinstall the left sail panel, push the front edge of the outer sail panel inward and turn toward the rear. Next, install the push-pin rivet in the back side of the left front fender. Then, attach using the 3 screws and torque to specification. Next, attach the shock arm to the ball and stud for the tip-out windshield, and now close. Then, reconnect the front camera connection if equipped. Next, install the 2 push-pin rivets from the underhood liner. Now, reinstall the hood by putting the tabs through the openings in the underhood liner and then lower the hood into position. Next, pull the rubber straps down over the hooks to secure the hood. Then, put the tabs on the grille through the openings in the front fascia and push the top of the grille into proper position. Now, push each stud in and turn 1/4 turn clockwise to secure the grille. Next, reinstall the hood rack if equipped by securing the 4 latches. Then, reconnect the negative battery cable to the battery. Now, push the battery cover rearward and lower it into place and turn the screw to close the cover. Next, put the seat into place and push rearward to engage the seat. Lower the front of the seat into place and install the 2 retained screws at the front of the seat base. Torque to specification. Then, choose the location to install the remote control holder by marking 2 pilot holes. Next, attach the remote control holder to the dashboard using 2 screws. Tighten until fully seated and place the remote control into the holder. Now, test the operation of the 6000 Pro HD winch. For more information, see your authorized Polaris dealer or visit Polaris.com.